Hi there, I'm Robert Manton, and I'm sure some of you remember me. I'm an oldish fella now, 76 years old, and when I was 22 or so, 21, 22, 23, I came to your beautiful little village in Crane Valley in Saskatchewan and taught there for a year and had a marvellous time. I was really pleased to see the write-up on Facebook that one or two of you could remember me, and especially little things like me teaching you or trying to teach you how to play cricket, a proper sport. Uh, but the reason I've got more interested in the last few years about my time in Canada, I've just started to write my autobiography about my life, and obviously Canada was a very important year in my time in the autobiography. People that stick in my mind, well, I remember you all as a class. I would now formally apologise if I might have frightened one or two of you, but I had been teaching in a very tough school in England, an all-boys school, and which was called my baptism of fire into the teaching profession. But I didn't need to be hard on you guys, because you're all so good and so keen and so enthusiastic, and so it was a wonderful experience. Perhaps you remember Ralph Ermil and Ernie Miley and Lillian Alexander. They taught more in the upper school. I used to lodge with them in the old schoolhouse in the village, and I had some great times with them. Things that stick out in my mind are cattle roundup that I went on, and in the winter playing ice hockey, and with Joe Stroh and Pam Costy's father, Pete Costy, who was the school janitor. So many memories. I particularly remember Joe Stroh crushing me into the boards when I went and played in my one and only ice hockey game. I lasted 5 minutes before they carried me off, beaten up by a member of my own team. I think I'll stick to cricket. So, and remember the curling rink and big Jake Kahn with his 10-gallon Stetson hat, who virtually seemed to own the village, and told me straight that he expected me to be a good teacher, and if I wasn't, he'd soon tell me so. So I knew that there was somebody keeping an eye on me. So all the things that I remember, Van Meryden in the old cafe, like saloon, she frightened me. Van Meryden, what a name, Van Meryden. And I wondered where I'd come to start with, because they were speaking Romanian in the shop. And I thought perhaps I'd got the wrong country. But apparently the whole community was based on Romanian origins. And so that was the explanation to that. And then coping with the winter and the deep zero temperatures and being stuck in the snow and nearly being frozen solid and being found in the spring. That was all great experience. So I'd like any of you, if you feel, whoever reads this, if they think they've got some experiences of my visit that they could recall, that I can enter into my autobiography, I'd be very, very grateful. I've already put in about the cricket and the other activities that I taught you, especially the static electricity that used to fire off every time everybody got out of a chair or touched a doorknob or a basketball. You'd have a sort of 3-inch length of spark going between you all. So I remember all the pupils, and I've got the photograph of the whole class and the staff, and the memories are so vivid. It made such an impression on me, and in many ways I wish I'd have stayed longer, but I was young and adventurous and wanted to get on. When I came back to England, I got a job teaching gardening, can you believe? And I knew nothing about gardening, so I just bought a book on it and got stuck in. And then as my career progressed, I taught country crafts and countryside studies. And where I live now, I've assembled together a museum of rural and countryside artefacts. And I do talks and demonstrations. But I've been retired from teaching now nearly 20 years. But I'm still going strong, I hope. So bless you all. If ever you're in England, you can be welcome here with a roof over your head. If you're touring, I'll be pleased to see you. And best of luck to you all in the future. But we're all getting old now. But before I go, I've still got my school jacket. Crane Valley High, yeehaw! 1967, centennial year, when I visited Expo 67, and that's it smells of mothballs actually. It's been in the cupboard for all this time, but there's not a moth hole in it. So I'm very proud to keep this as a great souvenir and memento of my visit. Bye for the moment.